One of my goals for this year is to mostly review games that came out this year. And since God of Boy 2018 is about $60 right now, I don't have that kind of cash to blow at the moment. But I did have $15 to review today's game, Omensight. I have a feeling that Omensight is going to be on my top 2018 games list because, well, it's June. I've more than likely only reviewed 3 games that came out this year, and who knows if the other games slated for release this year are going to come out, and there's delays, cancellations, and all that stuff that happens. That's normal in the gaming industry. And I'm not holding my breath for Kingdom Hearts 3, although now that I said that, I guarantee you someone right now, at the time of Kingdom Hearts 3's release of 2018, which it's slated for, is going to start typing, "Nuh-uh, Kingdom Hearts 3 came out this year, and whatever." And, well, as soon as they posted that comment, more than likely, I reviewed it.
Omensight was developed by Spearhead Games, an indie developer who made titles such as Stories, The Path of Destinies, Tiny Brains, and Arena Cyber Evolution. 3 games that I did not play, and I didn't even know that I had Stories Path of Destiny. And Omensight is actually connected to Stories, however I'm not entirely sure. I think it's either in the same universe or it's supposed to be a spiritual successor, which seems odd for something to be a spiritual successor to a game that came out 2 years ago. Seems a little soon. But Kotaku says that it takes place in the same universe, just at a different point in time. I have no development history on the game that I could find other than it was developed with the Unreal Engine. So let's just jump into the visuals, shall we? They're pretty good. Everything is bright, colorful, and vibrant when it needs to be, or it's dark and gritty when the situation calls for it. The characters are all designed in a cartoonish style. The mouse character, with probably one of the worst names, Radika, looks like what you'd expect from a young mouse girl in any cartoon. She's not generic looking, but kinda has that, yeah, that's what I'd expect. Ludamir is a bear, and actually kind of surprised me in his design. He's more wide than tall. Draga's design gives her that badass look, but she's not a badass in the typical sense. She's more noble, like a paladin, going with what she thinks she's right, but while trying to maintain her loyalties. Indrik is what you'd expect from an emperor that's a bird, a very regal and angular design. I really like how they all look, especially your character, the Harbinger, a mystical warrior that only appears when the world is about to end. While the Harbinger has no face and is pretty much blue energy in a suit of armor, she, and yes, the Harbinger is a she, looks like a rabbit due to the helmet. Voice acting ranges from good to okay. The voices work for the characters, and the weird thing is the acting itself gets progressively better the longer that you play. In the beginning of the game, it sounds really wooden, only to improve in quality the closer you get to the end of the game. Ludamir sounds like Jack Atlas from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's dub, just with a deeper voice. And I checked to see if it was Ted Lewis, and it didn't pop up in any of the credits, nor did any of the other names he goes by that I could find at least. The gameplay is a hack and slash with some platforming and RPG elements with a heavy emphasis on story. The combat works by the game automatically locking onto an enemy after enemy as you attack. However, it's a lot more sensitive or out of control depending on your viewpoint, as there's times I went to attack an enemy, resulting in the attack going to a different enemy or breaking something open. Enemies also attack pretty fast, resulting in you getting hit. So you'll need to have your eyes open and those twitch reflexes ready at all times to avoid incoming damage. You'll gain experience that you'll spend to level up for new abilities, and you'll collect amber to enhance yourself throughout the journey. The main focus of this game is time travel, and solving the mystery of who killed the princess, so that way you can prevent Vodin, a demonic entity, from destroying the world. On the evening of the last day, you come across 2 characters, Draga and Ludamir, who are dying or dead. You commune with their souls, and after the world ends, you are transported to the Tree of Life. From this point on, it's up to you to start from the morning of the last day to figure out how to save the world. Repeating the same actions will result in nothing. So you'll join one of 4 characters as you examine or change the events of the day to gather the clues that you need. However, your companions are not as loyal as you may think they are. When working with Ludamir, I went off in a different direction and he did not follow. Or when I was with Radika and did not fight Indrik but instead worked with him, Radika went off on her own. However, each time I did something like this, I was given more clues as to what happened. But sometimes your companions still hold information, so you need to help them regardless. fast, so I did have to fight and kill Indrik to gain Radika's ability to unlock certain gates. When you find a major clue, you get to use the Omensight, which allows you to completely alter the course of the day, as your companions will follow your lead and help you now that there's new information that they didn't know. This may sound like the game would be long with all the repetition of the same day, but you could jump to critical points of that day to alter the course of it to get more clues to progress down a different path, and these paths will result in you teaming up with certain companions and fighting and even killing them as well, so try not to get too attached to them. Now, the only real criticism I have of the game is the camera. You can hardly control it. You're only able to move it slightly left or right, up or down. You don't have a full 360 control over it, which I feel you need for this type of game, especially when it comes to the combat, as the camera will get into some of the worst angles, or when you're running towards it, you won't be able to see what's in front of you until it's too late and you take damage or fall to your death. Your first playthrough may take about 5 hours, but once you figure out the most efficient method of gathering the right clues, you could probably speedrun the game in about 2 hours. The ending I got was not the greatest, but there appears to be 3 endings if you go digging through the game files. There's a really bad ending, a neutral ending that isn't the greatest. It's just what the events would have been if Voden didn't appear, and then there's a really good ending. How to get the bad and good endings is still a mystery, as it's unknown how to get them at time of writing. Some people think it's dependent on how fast you finish the game, or if you find all the clues and memories, or if there's a specific path you need to follow.
For a $20 game that I paid $15 for, I feel that I got my money's worth. It's on PlayStation 4 and PC. Sorry, Xbox One owners, it's not coming out for your system, and unfortunately, I don't have the Omensight to tell you if it will.